Welcome to the Dalorrian show. I think am your host, Dalorrian. And this is episode 3 of our podcast, which is exciting. I've been, every week that goes by, I kind of get more and more excited to sit down and record these, on the YouTube channel for a while. I kind of went through social media and different things, and I would discuss like kind of what's going on. And this is just more exciting for me because it's a little bit more organized. And I kind of get to think through things a little bit better. Like, it may not be the best thing. Like if you think about SEO, you think about reach, you think about, you got to talk about the stuff while it's hot off the presses. That whole thing. It may not be the best, but I don't care, honestly. Like I want to talk about things as they come up. But I don't want to be chasing, empty clicks and things like that. And the only viral clip that I have right now of anything is on, believe it or not, Instagram. And it's a video talking about corporate America. It's just a stupid video. It's got like 3 million views and all these likes and things like that. But, every day it's like people commenting and saying something, and then it's cool, and I was talking to a friend and they're like, oh, that's your thing, do that, that should be your thing. I'm like, I don't want that to be my thing. I don't want corporate America. We all have things to say about it. I don't want to talk about corporate America on the daily, but it's cool that it resonates with everyone, that it's kind of a sham and a scam and kind of soulless and absolutely necessary for our economy to work. So it is what it is. But you guys know, if you ever come to the stream, if you ever watch any of the YouTube, you know that we get into that sometimes, political things here and there. But the podcast is a nice space for me to kind of take my time, talk to you guys about what's going on, just with everyday life. It's kind of a behind the stream, look at things that's going on. I'm streaming several days a week, putting out videos almost every day of said streams, and then, other things. And so it's nice to kind of slow down and talk and have something for people to listen to as they cut their grass, decorate the Christmas tree. It's that time. It's almost that time. We're, almost to Thanksgiving. Eat day. It's eat day in America, where you eat a lot of food. And this year, I don't know if I'm going to eat a lot of food. Honestly, I always feel a little miserable. And I have, a good 7-8 days to think about this, but, is it worth it to eat that much bird meat and pork meat and potatoes? Because I think that's kind of what it always boils down to. And then sugar. So it's like, okay, if you start boiling down Thanksgiving to its basic level, it's bird protein, it's pig protein, and this is just how we do it around my parts: turkey, ham, and then it's potatoes, and then vegetables, veggies, often cooked in ways that are decadent, such as sweet potatoes and like marshmallows and cinnamon and sugar on them and shit like that. And then, macaroni and cheese, green beans, corn. I eat a lot of corn during Thanksgiving. That's probably the thing I eat the most, because corn is fantastic. I don't know. My family grows their own corn. And when I grew up, there was a lot of days in the summer, hot summer days of we're all just sitting out in the backyard like a bunch of rednecks, like creaming corn. So you would like pick corn in the mornings in the garden in the farm or whatever, and then amongst other, like, you know, butter beans or lima beans or peas, black-eyed peas, zucchinis, cucumbers, squash, tomatoes, peppers, the whole thing, right? Like, it was just like tons of this shit. Like and like we would give it away, right? Because like we'd have so much, but there were entire contraptions around shelling peas. Or like like growing up, there was just like sheets on the floor in the summer full of peas. And as you come into like the living room or whatever, it's like grab a bucket, grab this thing, grab like we said like these green baskets, and it's like shell these peas or these butter beans or whatever, you know, just in the living room. It's like, so okay, we got to do this, and then you would do it, and then my mother would, you know, jar them for future sake. I mean, sometimes we would eat them fresh, but potatoes, we did a lot of potatoes. And you know, I'm not complaining about this. You know, as a teenager, I complained a lot about it because no teenager wants to get up at like 5 a.m. in the hot of the southeastern United States and bend over in the hot, sticky humidity, itchiness that is gardening, and, you know, pick a bunch of shit until like the midday until you get too hot and you're like, I just can't do it anymore. But I am thankful that I did it. I'm thankful that it was a part of my life. I wish that I was into it more. I probably would be way more into it now that I'm an adult. And if I had land to do it on, which I don't really have any acreage, but that could change in the future. We'll see. I mean, my family is growing and maybe we need more acreage. My dog would surely appreciate it. So it'd be nice to grow a few things. My parents always, like, you know, they grew a lot, you know, and they did a lot, and probably more than we needed to. I mean, especially as they got older, and they still do it, you know, and it's good for them to do it. But, you know, not to the scale. It's nice to receive that stuff. You know, they'll always bring, oh, here's some corn, here's some peas, or something. You know, we eat it, dude. Like, I mean, look, we eat it, bro. We eat it. You know, it's always nice to have like a side dish. You know, my dad's also like killing animals. He's always has deer meat, among other meats, that he will bring to us that we can freeze and then eat later and get processed into sausage and jerky and whatever. But yeah, so with corn is delicious, but the thing you got to know about corn, here's the thing you need to know about corn. You pick corn, and one, like, I think I'm allergic to it because, like, I'd be out there in a cornfield and I would just be like sneezing. And, you know, I have pretty bad allergies, and, you know, especially like in the state in which I live. Like, I used to live in Florida. We've talked about this, and I don't have allergies in Florida. I would love to live in Florida. Again, there's something about it that is amazing for breathing and existing. The further up into the southern states that you get, the air gets more stale. The air does not move. There's not as much rain. And so you get a lot more pollen, you get a lot more dander. And for me, I have a lot more allergies. Now, it's not as bad as it used to be. When I was a kid, it was fucking brutal. It was brutal as a kid. Growing up, I was like the fucking allergy king. I would just look at a tree and I would fucking swell up or something. Like fall in the grass and be like, all right, well, he's out for 6 hours. You know, it was kind of shitty. Again, growing out in the wild was cool, but it would have been cool if the wild would not have hated me so much. But yeah, so corn, the thing you gotta know about corn is you pick a lot of ears of corn, and if you leave the corn on the ear, then it feels like you have a lot of corn. If you have a corn on the cob, you're like, I got a shit ton of corn, bro. you know, because you have to cut it, shuck it, then you have to get the silk out of it. Sometimes there's little bugs in it. You get those out. You know, it's totally fine. You know, there's like little worms or whatever. Nothing. No, it's not like eating. Well, I guess it probably is eating, but it's not, the corn's fine, guys. Eat the fucking corn. Like, the stuff you eat's look. Don't talk about the stuff. The stuff you eat's disgusting. You live in America, like it's disgusting. I know. If you don't live in America, it's disgusting for you too. You foreign idiot. No, I'm just kidding. Calm down. Calm down. But yeah. So my family though, like we would cream the corn, and it you know, one, it's you save space, and it is easier to eat. And it's so freaking good, honestly. Like cream corn is so good, dude. Then you know, like if you get cream corn in a can, like if you go to the store right now, you're like, all right, Dalorrian, I haven't had cream corn in a long time. Let me go get some fucking cream corn. You're gonna be disappointed. The cream corn in the store in a can is extremely sweet, and it is just not very good. Corn that you grow organically and you cream and you put a little butter and salt in it and that's it is quite fantastic. So here's the thing though. You would cut the corn and then we'd have like these wooden boards, like corn creamers. So you'd have like a bucket or a pan and everyone would be out in the backyard in chairs and tables and have different stations. And it'd be like a family event where it's like, all right, Dalorrian, you're cutting the corn, you know, you're cutting the ends off. All right, Dalorrian's brother, you're shucking in the corn. All right, Dalorrian's mother is going to be creaming the corn. And, you know, several people be creaming the corn. And like this, it's as messy as it sounds. Shit is all over you. Cream corn is all over you because you literally are taking the corn cob and you're like raking it across a blade as you're turning it and just splashing corn jizz. It's not just corn and stuff into a bucket, you know. And of course, like when you're shucking, it's sticky. Corn's very sticky. It's not very sticky. It's just like wet, sticking to you. It's all over you. It's like, yeah, fucking all over. Very messy job. But everyone would be into it. And, you know, it would be, you kind of pick in the morning, you cream throughout the afternoon, you try to get under a shade tree or something. And you look for help because when the corn makes, baby. When the corn comes in, the corn is in. And you got to grab that shit and you got to do it. And you can't let that stuff sit around. Or otherwise you're going to have a fall decoration more than you are an actual food to consume. So anyway, you would get so, I would get so sad as like a teenager or a kid because we would just have tons of ears of corn. Let's just call it 1,000. Let's go with thousands of ears of corn, let's say. And you cut it, shuck it, cream it, and then you would like cream all this corn, bro. And then you'd be like, all right, we're done. And like my mother would put it in Ziploc bags or whatever, you know, just to make sure we got phthalates with our food. And you'd be like, all right, we did 1,000 ears of corn. All right, let's look at our yield here. Let's look at the bags. Oh, cool. We got 20 bags of cream corn. And these like would not necessarily be gallon bags, like quarts. And it's like, oh shit. Well, that was a lot of effort. And the corn is so good, like I could eat a bag of corn myself, you know, if I'm not careful. But it was worth it. And you know, we would keep some ears, you know, to like boil, you know, an ear of corn or whatever. And you know, like I said, the other things come in as they do it. And, you know, like I said, I look back on it fondly, but remember how shitty it is. And I just haven't done a lot of that in the future. And I have little things that I grow here and there. You know, I'm obviously a fan of real ingredients, wherever I can get them. But yeah, so we're talking about corn now. Let's do a check-in on the family. Like my, you know, nuclear family. Baby didn't want to sleep today. Little baby didn't want to sleep today. I mean, she's sleeping right now. It's kind of late, I think. Like we're like, it's kind of middle of the night, honestly. Which is the only time I have to do this. And it's been a little frustrating. Because it's like, child, what do you need? Are you hurting? And it's the baby can only, you know, scream at you or scream at you louder. Like that's really, you can cry and scream, and that's really it. And you have to just kind of Rubik's Cube it around and turn it in different positions and be like, okay, bro, like, do you want to sit at this angle? Do you want to sit at that angle? Do you want to be held this way? Do you want to walk around when I hold you? Like, do you want to be burped? Do you want to just lay there and not have anybody touch you? And you, like, for me, it's just a cycle of let's try these things. And like when you're so tired, when you're so tired and you're there and you're like, okay, maybe you just cry and I'm just gonna lay here and I'm gonna cry too. Like maybe we just cry together. Maybe this is like a group spiritual release moment. You know, your brain starts to think about things like how can we just be here and accept being screamed at. And my oldest, you know, shocker, my oldest is not a fan of babies crying. I don't know if anybody is a fan of babies crying, but she definitely is not. And so there's always like a rub where she's like, I don't like this, I don't like that. And we're like, hey, I know, none of us like this. I hate it. If you want to go to your room and try to avoid it, you can. But it's like there's no. We're doing our best here to keep this thing from not crying. And I'm making it sound like that the new baby cries a lot. It really does not cry too much in comparison to, like, you know, our first child. I've like cried a little bit more, and maybe I'm wrong. I've just heard worse. You know, it could be worse, but there's definitely something going on with the belly or gas or whatever. You know, like there's no fever or anything like that. The baby is overall fine. It's just one of those things. But yeah, so we're still experiencing the trenches of having a new child, and we will continue to do so until further notice. But every day I think about going to the gas station and getting some smokes and never coming back. I think about that a lot, actually. I look up, you know, from my madness. I was like, I'm gonna go get some smokes. That almost comes out of my voice, my mouth, and I look around and I say, not today, Dalorrian, not today. There's always tomorrow where you can leave it all behind and start a new family and a new life in Wyoming, in the cornfields of Wyoming. No, I don't know. I don't think I want to return to corn, because I want to be able to breathe. Anyway, I'm not going to leave my family. Calm down. I love my family. I'm not going to leave them. All right. What happened this week, man? Things happened this week, man. The big random thing that happened late last week, really. I mean, like, since our last podcast was the what I'm calling it, the Steam Machine. Is that right? Is that like is that the official name? I think it is. Like I've been saying it, but I've been kind of like in a stupor. Again, with sleep and stuff like that. It's like, did they actually call it the Steam Machine? And I think that they did. This thing looks hella interesting. And I have been saying for a while about the video game industry, with consoles especially, that consoles have gotten in such a way that we need a shakeup, and it is going to take a company like Valve, or for me, my bet has always been on Epic. Steam is doing this. I mean, obviously they have the Steam Deck, they have VR already. The Vive, right? Is that it? That's not right. What is their VR thing called, bro? Well, they have, this one's called the Steam Frame VR headset. I thought it was something else, but it doesn't matter. I can't remember. So they've done VR, they've done Steam Deck already, and in the world that we live in, they're already kind of set up to maybe do something like this. And you know, they've done like the Steam controller, and what was the thing called? I have one somewhere. The Steam box, like what was it called? Jesus. Steam. It's not I'm gonna put the Steam gaming thing. That's it. It's not. Is it the Steam Deck? No, it's not the Steam Deck. It was the little box they put out. The Steam Link. There we go. I have a Steam Link, and that thing. They were just giving those away for a while, and that would just. I think that you would just plug your controller into that, and it would turn your PC into Steam OS, and then you could kind of like, be like console. This is a real deal freaking console, bro. They have surpassed that. They have surpassed all Metal Gear, but the Steam Machine is a nuclear deterrent. But no, I thought I was like Epic needs to do that. I mean, you have Epic, who has become this overnight thing. They have the Epic Game Store. You have Fortnite. You have the kids already. Like you have. I was kind of banking on Epic being like coming out and making a console and shaking things up. And because PlayStation is stale, Xbox is, they don't know what they're doing. I mean, like the Xbox is like, we're just going to buy everything and be the Netflix of gaming, and like everything's an Xbox. Everything as an Xbox is the marketing campaign is like, you can't beat them, join them. It is like, that is the plan with Microsoft. They got to the point where they're like, hey, some guy comes in, or girl, the office, Phil Spencer's there, Sadiq, whatever. I can't remember the CEO's name of Microsoft. They're all sitting around, they get to their directors, executives, whatever. There's probably a transgender person in the room. Let's just be real. And we're all like, okay, what do we do here? The Xbox X and S are not selling. We have to increase prices. What are we going to do? And someone pipes up and they're like, hey, man, if you can't beat them, join them. And, Phil Spencer scratches his chin and he's like, what the fuck did you just say? And the guy or girl says, if you can't beat them, join them. Join them. Join them. And Phil Spencer and his gang of executives or whatever, like, hey, what if we start putting our games everywhere? And what if we buy every game that exists, every game company? And then what if, like, it doesn't matter what console you're on, you still have to play our games and we get a cut of it. And then, like, we offer this Netflix thing and we try to, like, stream this stuff, and like we get everybody in to pay a monthly fee. I mean, look, we already do Microsoft Word. You got to pay monthly for that. So, the Microsoft guys will love it. You pay a thing, you pay a fee every month. And so they're like, yeah, let's do that, because PlayStation owns everything in the world when it comes to consoles. For whatever reason, they won the day back in the day after the 360, essentially, in my mind. And so it's like, okay, why are we taking swings on these boxes, bro? It's hard to fund them and make them. And why, we can throw one out there that's like a premium thing, maybe here and there. But what if we just say you can play Halo on PlayStation and it doesn't matter anymore? And like we just buy up the market of games. And then whenever those IPs die, they die. And we just keep buying and keep buying. And we keep having a library until the games die. And then we just like, that's our new model. And we just join with everyone. And it's like, will you ever play Halo on a Nintendo? I mean, maybe actually, is that happening? Is Halo on Nintendo? It probably is. Shit, man, it probably is. But yeah, so that's the thing. And so like, so Xbox is kind of like, whatever about consoles. They're not going to be brave about it because they have been burned for, over a decade with the consoles, and there's zero faith within the company to do anything interesting there, except lose money. So they're like, we'll just throw some safe shit at the wall. We'll get a Xbox in your hand. It's not even going to be, we don't make it. We're going to partner with this other group and let them make it and slap an Xbox sticker on it. And that's our Steam Deck. And, it's our Switch. And then Nintendo's their own thing, and Nintendo's like becoming like the Apple of video games, I think, where like I think it's just going to be what I think, and I could be wrong, is I think it's just going to be the new Switch from henceforth. I think it's going to be like Switch 3, Switch 4, Switch 5. It's going to be like the iPhone. That's what I think. And it's going to be like iPhone 10. Like, again, I'm going to be like 7 years old, and it's going to be like, the Switch 10 just dropped, Dad or Grandpa. Oh, really? What's he playing on there? Donkey Kong and Mario? Oh, fuck. Whoa. Is it Groundhog Life over at Nintendo? Yeah, but Grandpa, you're being such a negative Nancy. There's also a Pokemon game. Oh, fuck me. Okay. Cool, bro. So they're good. I mean, look, and like Switch, I mean, like go ahead. I mean, because like you're selling more than any other console. It's obviously work. You would be a fool to not just keep selling the Switch in some form or fashion. You know, that'd be like you know, you remember when the New England Patriots were really good in football for a while, when Belichick and Tom Brady were there for like 20 years. You know, it would be like if Belichick's like, all right, hey Tom, come over here, Tom out, and Tom's like, hey, coach, nice hoodie. And you know, he's like, hey man, you know, you're a good quarterback and all. You're like, you know, the greatest of all time quarterback. Yeah. And he's like, Tom's like, oh yeah, I eat avocado ice cream, and I'm vegan, and I sleep 20 hours a day, and yeah, I'm gonna do this until I'm 80. And Belichick's like, yeah, I drank a beer this morning for breakfast. Anyway, you're gonna be a running back. You're gonna be a running back. We're gonna go option. We're gonna start running the option, Tom. And Tom's like, hey, I'm not fast. I'm not nimble. I can throw the ball good, and I can make decisions about what we should do at the play. And I do not run fast. I am not agile, and I will get hurt easily. And Belichick's like, yeah, but fuck it. We're going to change some things up here. That is like, and you know, you may like that analogy or not. I think I like it, because that would be what, if Nintendo said, we're going to come out with something other than the Switch 3. When you have the Switch putting up numbers and the Switch 2 putting up numbers like it is, like, you know, keep winning is probably the plan. Yeah, so I just don't think there's going to be anything exciting for me personally coming out of Nintendo. And you know, you've heard me say it, I would love to see like a new Wii, something interesting. Give me a nunchuck, bro, like something, you know, like, well, they got the little Joy-Cons. Like, nah, bro, not that fucking shit. Like, do something. That's just for me. You know, like that. I just want to tour Nintendo, and like maybe there's a department that like tries shit out, and like, hey man, here's the new possible Nintendo thing that's definitely not going to happen. It's a bodysuit. I mean, a bodysuit. Yeah, just put it on, and here's these glasses, and now you're playing Mario. Well, okay, yeah. How do you make Mario jump? Lift your hand over here. Okay, I would love just to see like, you know, was it the development department, the research and development department of Nintendo? Like, what kind of funky shit are you guys trying to do in here? That would satisfy my needs, and then yeah, keep putting out your iPhone Switch or whatever. So I'm a fan of the Switch. I'm not. It sounds like I'm hating on the Switch. I'm actually not hating on the Switch. I actually really enjoy the Switch. The version I have, the OLED version, the Joy-Cons feel like every time I play that thing, I feel like it's gonna fucking break. But other than that, it's a good machine. But the Switch 2 is very sturdy. Man, got Mrs. Dalorrian 1, and I'm a little jelly. I kind of want my own now that I've given her one, but there's zero reason for me to do that. So I'm not going to do that. But point being, Nintendo seems set. And then PlayStation has zero competition in the console wars. They can put out a vagina-shaped white thing and throw it in you. Like, there's, where do you put the thing? No, you know, like, where do you put it? And it doesn't matter. It's going to sell like hotcakes. The next PlayStation is going to look like a flower. It's going to have 8 petals on it. It's going to be white and blue and black, and it's going to, like, when you turn it on, it's going to like open like this, and it's going to be 4 feet tall, and you're going to have to set it in your corner like a plant. It's not going to go like on like a TV stand. It's like, no, it's like a plant. It's like a plant now, and it will sell, and there was no competition, and it's going to be totally fine. Because that is kind of where Sony is with the console world. So that paints a picture of where we are. And so enter the Steam machine in the most Valve way ever, where it's like just a random weekday afternoon. Was it like Wednesday? It might have been Wednesday, actually, like when the last podcast came out. Like, I think it was Wednesday, and it was like, hey, yeah, here's this thing, it's a little video, it's a box, you can do the faceplate. There's a little light on it. Here's a controller that goes with it. Steam Deck works with it. Here's a VR set that works with it. And it's pretty good specs. It's going to come out in 2026, so it's going to come out in just a few months. We're in November. It's saying like no later than Q1. Now, everything can always drop. They did not put a price on it. I will say they did not put a price on it. And that's something I really want to talk about. But the customizable faceplates, that's a lot like the 360 to me. That was kind of a era of having customizable faceplates. You would see 360s where like people did shit to them that was easy to do. They're saying like we're going to have 4K 60 frames per second on everything that we do, using, upscaling and shit like that. Easy to replace SSD. Everyone says it's a super quiet machine. I don't know how hot it gets. We're going to let you use it as like a Linux desktop. You can throw Windows on it if you want, but it's just kind of like this. It's a computer. It's a PC, but it's a console. We're going to launch it everywhere. It has Steam Deck, US, Japan, Canada, etc. You can play, everything's just, you hook it right up. Now, the Steam controller, it's TMR, like thumbsticks, and I don't really know much about these, but like, essentially what you need to know about that, the thumbsticks that they're like kind of touting on this, is like it's supposed to have like be pretty precise. But we'll see. And so the VR is supposed to be really smooth and wireless and have SteamOS built in, and everything's going to be Steam machine verified. So like, I mean, you think about Steam, it's like kind of the Wild West out there. Like you will be able to see this game was like verified, like the Steam Deck, like this will play on it. This has been optimized for it. Yeah, and it's like, I think the Steam Deck is going to be able to stream from the stream machine. So think of like a Wii U, where you have like a handheld that's like connected, but this will probably be good. Whereas that was like Fisher Price bullshit weird. So it's like a whole ecosystem, and also like it's a PC, and so it's so interesting because the thing that I am excited to see about this Steam machine is since it's going to be kind of like an unlocked console, what is the ridiculous shit that people are going to do with these things? That is what I'm excited to see. And what I mean, like, I don't know, like, I mean, like putting like cheats on games and stuff, like maybe that's what I mean. I mean, just like, what are they going to do with this thing, man? Like you're going to see a Steam machine and somebody's going to be playing like Nintendo on it, right? People don't go to people's houses, I don't think, anymore. I mean, maybe they do, but I certainly don't. But like, there will be a person on the Steam machine. It's like, you want to play Nintendo? I'm like, yeah, man. You get the Switch, or something like, no. We play Nintendo on this thing, and it's just gonna be like emulation city on this thing. You know what I mean? Like it's so interesting, and it's like it's such a. I have a lot of friends that are not PC gamers, and they don't want to be, because a lot of people, like, you may be shocked by this. A lot of people don't know their way around Windows operating systems and computers and browsers and Macs. And there's still a lot of people out there that like are not very good with computers, like installing, uninstalling, troubleshooting, all of the funky, crazy ass stuff that can happen on a Linux machine, a Windows machine. No bueno. They don't have the patience for it. A, then two, like, they They just don't. This is not their field of expertise. They do like other jobs, and they don't have to be on the computer a lot. There's a lot of bros out there and ladies out there, and so like what's interesting is this is kind of a gateway into causing problems for your computer friends. Hey man, I got this Steam machine. You're like into computers and stuff, right? What does it mean by what does error mean? 0x0110 0x56. What does this mean? No, I don't know. But it is so interesting because I don't think any other machine has ever been unlocked like this. Another thing that seems interesting is there's no, as of now, and I mean, honestly, as long as Gavin is alive, hanging out on his yacht, his new yacht that he's got, as long as he's alive, like, will there ever be like a Steam Live, a Steam Essential Premium, where like, hey, if you want to play these games on Steam against other people on the internet, or multiplayer or co-op, you're going to have to pay $10 a month to be able to play online. This thing, I mean, you want to play Arc Raiders? You don't have to pay a fee. You just got a Steam machine, and if you're playing with other people on PC, you're good. And I wonder about crossplay. So there's a lot of games like, you know, like any game that has crossplay, like let's say Battlefield 6. When someone's playing Battlefield 6 on their Steam machine, and you're playing, you know, you'll see like a little Xbox symbol or PlayStation symbol, and then like you'll see like a little desktop. This is going to be a desktop, right? Like this will be considered in crossplay PC, right? Right? Like if you have this console Steam machine, it will be considered a PC because it is like a living room PC. Essentially, it's like what it's kind of like what it's being tossed around as. Yeah, I guess so. I think that's just going to be considered PC. It's like, yeah, I'm just playing. But yeah, there's no fee, man. How cool is that? And so it brings me to the culmination of how much is this going to cost? And if you're a regular American, everything is extremely expensive. Everything is extremely defeating when it comes to pricing. And I struggle to think of anything that you can purchase in 2025 that feels like a good deal. There's like no food at the grocery store that's like, this feels like a pretty good deal for this. This feels like a fair trade for wages. Like, you know, this bag of rice feels like, you know, this is a good price for this. Housing, car, like nothing feels like a good deal. In the gaming world, a 5-year-old Xbox Series X has gone up on price. This has never happened. Series S as well. Nothing feels like a good deal. Everything feels like a fleece. And so Steam has this interesting opportunity to eat cost and get like a massive player base if they want. Now, they don't have to be fair. Valve is doing fine. Valve and Steam is doing fine. They don't even have to make this thing. And that's the thing is like, why are they making it? And, you know, I think speculations put this thing at like $500 minimum. I think that's what I've seen. I mean, if you start looking at like what's on the inside, 8 gigabytes GDR6 VRAM, 16 gigabytes DDR RAM, AMD RDNA 3, 28 CU, 2.5 gigahertz max sustained clock. These are just words, right? CPQ, AMD Zen 460. I would have to look up and see like what these are like compared to like what I have on my PC. What is this? Storage, two models, 512 gigabyte or 2 terabyte, a micro SD card slot for extra storage. God, that's so fucking nice. That's nice. Your controller, display ports, a USB-C, two USB-C A's on the front, two on the back. They're high speed gigabit internet, an LED strip for lights, and this thing's going to be, I mean, like, we have millimeters here, 152 millimeters tall, 162 millimeters deep, 156 millimeters wide. I don't know what that is, and 2.6 kilograms. I don't know what that is. We'd have to do, let's see, what is 2.6, 2 pound. I mean, this is, I'm American. 5 pounds. This thing's 5 pounds. Xbox Series X weight is 10 pounds. So it's half the weight of a Series X. So PS5 Pro weight is 6.8 pounds. I don't have a Pro, I just have a regular. I have the original PS5, it's also a 10 pounds. So like, this thing's gonna be half the weight, assumingly half the space. Man, they have potential here to really, to me, break into the market. And it's not even about the other machines and what they're capable of versus this machine and what's capable of. It's just the economy and how everyone is feeling out there. And I think if you come in at like 350, 400, and again, probably not going to happen, guys. It's probably going to be 500. That's what a Switch 2 is. Switch 2 is like 500, I think. But God, dude, if they, I mean, dude, if they did like 350, bro. If they did 350, bro, and you're like, look, we can get into a business economy, you know, how much money you're losing for shipping and the support of that, like, God, the support you would have to have, you know, like in capitalism and like business, like, you don't want to go cheap. You always want to go premium. And there's some reasons behind that. One, it's like less support. As a premium buyer, it's going to be less trouble for you. I'm sorry, it's just the way that it is. It's you're guaranteed to get your cost, so like, even if you sell less, you can potentially make more. And so it will probably just be premium, but dude, it would be so exciting and so fun to just see Valve pull down their pants in front of everyone in the room and just take a shit all over a podium or what, you see what I'm saying? Like, just to throw a turd into this whole machine, for lack of a better word, would be so entertaining and fun to watch. Like, just to see people clamor for this, because I mean, dude, again, if this thing came out at 350, you saw it in stores, it would be what I'm talking about at Thanksgiving, you know, and not everyone at my Thanksgiving is a gamer or anything like that, but they would be like, oh man, you seen this new video game thing? It's like, I think it would be a topic of discussion. I could be wrong, man. I've been wrong before, but like, it would be so awesome to see this thing come out and be like, and it's not going to come out for Thanksgiving, obviously. You see what I'm saying? But man, just to see this thing come out and to give the people a sense of like, I am getting a fucking deal. I'm getting a console. It's decently easy to use, but it's open enough if I want to use it as a computer for something else, and I want to toy with it. I can get into that as like kind of a hobby. It's I don't have to pay for an online subscription. I can play any game I want. I can put mods on it. I don't have to be in this stupid ecosystem where I have to pay like a monthly fee. Man, that would, I'm telling you, man, that would really potentially make some waves. I think if it comes out and it's 500, I think it's kind of a shoulder shrug. I think it could still make waves, but if it comes out and it's the same price as like an Xbox Series X, which is twice the size, and it's $500 now, or is it more? God, it might be more. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a shoulder shrug. It's gonna be like, okay, man, you know, I don't want to spend $500 on this thing. I don't quite understand. You know, Steam is like a new ecosystem for me. I'm an Xbox guy. I'm a PlayStation guy. How do I do Steam OS? Like, how do I buy games? Like, how do I do this? You know, like, I think if the price was right, it would get people to kind of walk through that door. And the industry desperately needs that, and you can make an argument that the country needs it, but it's not about us. It's about making money. So, you know, it is what it is. Not saying that Valve is evil or capitalism is evil. I mean, we look. I mean, it kind of is, right? I mean, like, look, we don't have to get into all of it, but there's good and bad with it. But we're just in a time period where it's a lot of bad. You're seeing a lot of bad. Anyway, let's move on. I'm excited to see what happens with it. My Discord woes are pretty much better now. We have a new Discord, and a lot of people in the community that are helping out with that. EP Cats, shout out to setting up the channels and really putting a lot of work into it. Really amazing. Thanks for offering and helping out with that. My camera, I've been having camera issues. I have an Elgato Mark II camera, and I'm having issues with it when I'm streaming like WoW and things like that. And I got a new cable. I haven't actually put the new cable in. I may get a new camera depending on what happens. Like, my running theory at this point is that when I was playing WoW, like on the last, there was an update to WoW that kind of blew everything up, like removed everyone's macros, and it was like WoW was down all day. It was just kind of a weird patch, and I think it may have reset some of my settings, and I think it's like trying to hog some of my processing power. And so whenever I'm like on WoW, it's like just lagging balls everything else. And that's not that WoW is a, and we're talking about WoW Classic, by the way. It's not that WoW Classic is an intensive graphic game. It's that it's poorly optimized. So I've tweaked some of that, and we'll see. And I'm going to change the cable and give that some more time. But it's been kind of a bummer to stream the past couple times. Like, after I have streamed since May, and I've had this camera the whole time, and I've had zero issues with it. I've run intense games, I've run whatever, and it's been smooth as butter. And now I'm playing, and it's like running like dog shit, and it's like, what changed? And when you're on the PC, and you know, firmware updates and Windows updates, of which there have been a lot of dramatic Windows updates lately, game updates, I mean, you're just really fighting against finding out who the culprit is, and maybe some mix graphic cards update. I mean, like, God, it's so much. Which is why you never want to get a Steam machine with all the updates. I'm kidding. We're gonna see what happens there. Let's talk about games. Let's talk about video games. Call of Duty Black Ops 7 has come out, and I have not touched it. I had planned on touching it. I had planned on interfacing with it. I played the beta and the multiplayer beta, and I did not dislike it. It was kind of fun. It's that time of year. It is the COD days happy COD days, if you will, where you go to your gas station and you get a bag of Doritos and a Monster Energy drink. You put in your code and you get gun XP, and you run around with your bros and shoot each other and try zombies and realize zombies is a waste of your fucking time for the 10th year in a row. And then you talk about, well, I wonder what the new I wonder if Warzone's going to be good again. Maybe, man, with this new game, maybe Warzone will make a comeback this time. You know, when's it happen? When's the season pass drop? It's going to be like in December. And, you know, and I'm being a little facetious, but like, Call of Duty is actually kind of a nostalgic thing. It's not nostalgic like Harry Potter and World of Warcraft and, you know, other things, but it's close. Like it can get, it's in the neighborhood, but it's not quite there. And when Black Ops 7 revealed itself, I was immediately disinterested. The whole future warfare, Black Ops 7, just saying Black Ops 7. A lot of people like Black Ops 1 and 2. I get it. I'm not that guy. I don't, like, it's fine. Like, those games are better than a lot of other games. But I don't have, like, there's not a special place in my heart for, you know, Black Ops as a sub franchise of Call of Duty. Don't really care if it's Black Ops, Modern Warfare. Well, if it's Modern Warfare, I'm probably more interested because it's like more realistic guns and you can kind of get into the gunplay of it a little bit more. Like if you enjoy guns and like gun culture, it's just kind of an easy win, you know. It's like if you want to play a car game and you're like, I want to play a car game, but I want to have like real cars in it. And someone's like, well, we're not going to do that, but we're going to have like future cars where it's like, it's kind of like the cars that are out today that you could be into, but they're going to be totally made up. And we're going to do like our own version of like what a new Ferrari would be like in 10 years. Like if we had to guess. And if you're a car guy, you're probably like, all right, okay, yeah. That kind of looks like a Lamborghini. That kind of looks like a Ford Taurus. That kind of looks like a Honda Accord. And then, like, what if they change the names of the guns so they're not the official names of the guns? It's like, it's not a Honda CRV that you're racing. It's a Panda CRX. And you look at it, it's like, oh, this is like a Honda CRV. I wonder how fast I can make this fucking thing go if I tweak it. But then you're like, well, it's a Panda because they didn't want to pay for Honda. Oh, I just unlocked this new car. What is this? Oh, it's a Linguini Z47. Oh yeah, this is like the Lamborghini, but it's not. So yeah, if you're like a gun person, you're like, what the fuck are we doing? It's like if Gran Turismo is like, all right, we're gonna make it up a little bit because we want to save money. So yeah, I mean, minor point there, but you know, the future state, the campaign looks weird. Everything that I've seen of the campaign online seems to confirm that it is stupid and trippy and like, bro, I don't know what's real, man. And a lot of people are like, oh, it's just campaign missions on the Warzone map, and they started to do that more with the campaigns, and it's so lazy and not fun at all. And yeah, so that leaves you with multiplayer. And for me, even with all of that, me being like, I don't really care about this, that it's COD, I'll play it, I'll unlock the guns, I'll do it. The two things that have stopped me are as follows. The Xbox Game Pass price hike. The instant and sharp price hike of Game Pass in the past month or whatever, where it was like, okay, Ultimate Game Pass is $20. We're going to up it to $30. And you get this Fortnite stuff and you get like Ubisoft games, which you already get. You already were getting that. And now for $30, like if you don't do the $30 version, you can't play the games day one on your console. I think you can do a $20 PC version and you can still get the games. I don't ever play Call of Duty on PC. If you do, power to you, whatever. I don't play with a controller. And I'm not very good at it. But anyway, so it's like, okay, I had intentions of playing it at $20 with the release. I had the $20 version. Actually, my Xbox Alive or whatever was running out. It is like the stars aligned for Dalorrian, where it's like I was out because I didn't have just recurring, and then they changed it, and it's like, okay, well, what do you want? And I said, fuck, man, give me the $10 version because I've been playing FIFA on here, which I bought that game. There's nothing really coming out on Game Pass that I want, so I'm not going to give you $30 for like dead air because I'm playing so many other games. And they're like, well, if you want to play COD, you gotta give us $30. You gotta give us $30. We lost a lot of money last year because we did COD on Game Pass, so now we gotta increase the price. We need $30 from you if you want to play COD. And I'm like, I don't have time for this. So I think I have like a $10 version right now, so my daughter can play Bluey every once in a while for 5 minutes and then walk off and do something else. But yeah, so it's like, and like that was a bad timing for me. The other thing is Battlefield 6 and Ark Raiders is out. And if you have kind of like your sections of games that you want to play, if you're like a serious game, I'm a serious gamer. I'm a serious gamer, guys. Okay? I'm serious about this shit. If you're a serious gamer, or you play a lot of games, is probably what I should say. You probably have your genres that you play, where it's like, I'm my single player, I'm like my MMO, or fantasy, maybe sci-fi thing that I'm doing. And then I have like my shooter. And then I have like my sports game, right? So for me, I have my World of Warcraft, of which there are 2 versions of World of Warcraft that I'm playing. Already, I'm pressed for time over one game that has 2 versions, of which in World of Warcraft, there are so many versions. But for me, I'm playing WoW Classic, that is going to TBC pre-patch January 13th. It was just like announced today. So I'm kind of preparing for that, and I'm wrapping up High Warlord. I have 1 more week left. If you don't know what that means, it takes a long time. That's all you need to know. It takes like 2 months to do, and that's a lot of grinding. Why am I doing it? Because I'm stupid. Don't worry about it. I'm almost done with that. And then we're going to go into pre-patch, and it's just going to be like kind of gold farming and raiding until pre-patch for me. So that's kind of like on standby. I don't have to go as hard on WoW Classic. And then you have Legion Remix, which is WoW. And it's like an event that ends in January. And I'm like, I'm like halfway through that. And I haven't spent a whole lot of time on it. So if I spend like a little bit more time on it, I'll kind of complete of it what I want to do, which is like unlock everything. And it's like not that hard to do. I mean, it's not that hard to do. I've been beating my head against it a little bit, probably in a way that I shouldn't, but it's fine. It's been overall a decent experience. Then you have retail, which is like going into Midnight, which I have purchased. And in December, you can build houses and do housing shit. And that is like ranked 3 for me on the things that I'm going to do with WoW, but I still purchased it, and I will probably still interface with it a little. And then who knows when that pre-patch is going to happen, baby. There's probably going to be 2 pre-patches going on at the same time. And if that happens, Classic is going to win out for me. But like, already we're juggling World of Warcraft. Sports games. I have had to kick away sports games. Usually I'm playing soccer, rematch. Rematches, we did our Game of the Year recording today. That'll come out in early December, where I talked about what my Game of the Year is, and like all the games that are finalists for my personal Game of the Year. Rematch is one of those games. Spoiler alert. Soccer game. There's another soccer game. I also like college football. No time for that this year. So I've foregone sports games. Then we have single player games, which there's really none right now, but in December there's going to be Octopath Traveler 0, which we'll talk about a little bit. And then you have your shooters, which in this order right now is Arc Raiders, number 1, Battlefield 6, totally acceptable and good game, number 2, and then number 3, Black Ops 7. So, increased price of entry on Black Ops. None of my bros are playing Call of Duty because they're either playing Arc Raiders or Battlefield 6. So how about me out there raw dog and solo in the multiplayer? And it doesn't look interesting. I mean, like what do they want me to do? I could stream it. Like I could convince myself, Dalorrian, you should stream it because like people will watch it and like it's good for your channel. I guess I could drum that up. But you know what this stream is about. You know what this podcast is about. I'm not gonna I'm doing what I want to do, because if I don't, it's not genuine. And I don't care if I have 1 listener or 1 million listeners. The minute I go play something for likes or for love or for attention, I will immediately hate it because it's not genuine, and people will realize that. They'll be like, oh, he's playing this game he doesn't want to play. Why is he playing it? And like there's games that I play that like there's parts of the game I don't enjoy, but any game I play, you can be rest assured I did want to try it out. But with Black Ops 7, it's just like it's too crowded. I think on a quiet year it will be fine. And I think next year, no matter what Call of Duty is next year, Call of Duty next year will do fine. There will be no Arc Raiders, which has been a behemoth. There will be no Battlefield next year. Call of Duty next year is going to do just fine. It would help them if it looked cool or seemed cool at all. But even if it was a good looking game, even if it was like aesthetically everything I would want, which I don't even know what that is anymore out of Call of Duty. Like it's not World War II. It's not, we've already done modern. Like what is it that I want? Like, does anybody know what they want out of COD anymore? No. It's like its own weird, stupid thing. Like, no, who knows? Like, what do we want? No one knows. Maybe someone knows. Maybe it's like, nah, dude, I want Black Ops 7. This is what, I don't know, man. But like, even if it was super interesting to me, would I even play? I mean, not at release, not right now. I mean, I'm not going to drop $30 on Super Xbox Game Pass. And I don't struggle for money, man. I'm not super mega rich. Okay. I'm not like in a mansion. It's like a 4-bedroom or whatever, you know, it's in 2025 terms. Like it's mega rich. It's not, I live in a nice house, but it's like, it has its problems, I will say. But I can afford to play and buy whatever game I want to play. And, but I just can't justify playing it. I mean, I just can't. I can justify paying $60 for Octopath 0 because that looks interesting. It looks fun. It looks new and unique to me. I can't do this. There's too much competition. Call of Duty. If you're enjoying it, let me know. And it would only take a few people to be like, nah, bro, you got it all wrong. Come in and play. I mean, it's probably all it would take for me to come in and be like, oh, yeah. Let's try it out after all. And, if I have a buddy or two, it's like, hey, let's play, I would probably dive in. But I got no buddies who are doing it this year. So I was going to talk about the GameStop trade anything day. I mean, I've talked so long about the Steam machine, so we're going to move on. I want to talk about Arc Raiders a little bit. We talked about Classic and Legion Remix, and with Classic, you can follow along on the streams. I got my attunements from my Warlock, and I'll just say, like, I'm going to farm gold, until January and probably raid a little bit. And that's probably, I mean, like, you know, I got my attunements, not the Onyxia. I don't even think I'm going to do that. But if you know what WoW is, like, I'll probably try to beef up my money and my Warlock, because I'll probably main Warlock going into the Burning Crusade. And I will probably roll a Blood Elf Paladin. Maybe I'll level it up. Maybe I'll dick around. I don't know. The thing I'll say about WoW, which we're not going to talk about today, because there was like a leak that there's going to be like a anniversary boost purchase where you get like a mount and a leveled up character. I don't know if I'm going to do that until that's official. I'm not really going to get into it, and that may become official in the next couple weeks, and we'll talk about it. And then I'll give you my thoughts. Like, am I going to do this? Like, most everyone I play with, most people that interact with in the stream, they're like, yeah, I'll do it. I don't know if I'm going to do it. We'll see. Arc Raiders is still a video game, and it is still pumping, bro. I see it on X every day. The concurrent numbers continue to go up. Players on Steam, and I think that game just continues to grow in popularity. Now, I personally I still really like the game, but I'm kind of in a holding pattern with the game because I don't really have much else to do in the game. And let me explain that. So the game gives you a lot of workshops and things to level up on your base. And to level those things up, you have to collect items that you find off of the Arc enemies, and then just that you find in general throughout the maps. I got to the point where I found all of those things, and I have upgraded all of my workbenches. And then there's other things you can collect, right, that are helpful to that effort. You can collect blueprints. Those are random drops, and there's a lot of different kind of blueprints, some more valuable than others. You can just grind the game for RNG to find the blueprints, try to get them back to your base, and then unlock them. And then you can just make these fantastic items, grenades, and guns. Now, I don't care about that because of expeditions and my understanding of them. And I don't know if anyone really truly understands the expeditions. But let me segue into the expedition for which I have completed. Expeditions are an idea where you self-wipe your character. So, like, imagine that we're playing the first season of Arc Raiders right now since release. And let's say that season 2 is going to start in, like, December, into December. You can send your raider off on, like, a expedition where that raider is gone now. He's no longer a part of the Speranza City. And you send him off into the world to settle the planet, or underneath the planet, I guess. Whatever the lore is there, they're going away. And so you have to collect a lot of things to make that happen. There's several different phases of it. There's like 6 phases of it, or 5 phases of it. Some things are harder to find than others. I have found all of those things. And then the 5th one is like, donate a bunch of stuff. It's like, you just need to have a couple $100,000 worth of guns, a couple $100,000 worth of items, like money items, healing items, well, maybe not healing items, like, you know, augment items, like whatever, bro. Now, for me, I am not going out of my way to PvP in this game. I'm not going out of my way to, like, go kill a queen or a big walker, a matriarch is what they call them. I'm not going out of my way to go kill things I haven't killed. You can get yellow items for that, like yellow, like crafting materials and things like that. I'm not going out of my way to do that because there's nothing to unlock. That is the shitty kind of gamer that I am. So for me, for the project where I just had to collect a bunch of stuff, there's a map where I found 2 farming locations where you can find this little train depot door, and it's become more popular now because now it's like, if I go there, it's always a fight. You got to get there at the beginning of as soon as the map spawns, you got to get there quickly. And then if you don't get in and get out, someone's going to kill you, or you're going to have someone have to kill to get the stuff. There's always like one pink item. Pink is like, not orange is the best legendary. Pink is the next thing. Blue is rare. Green is common, and gray is like uncommon or whatever, right? Or common. So like pink is good. You know, just in general, if you find a pink item, that's like a good, valuable item for you. So this little place always spawns pink stuff, and then there's another place at the hospital. This is on the buried city, by the way, where there's lockers, and the lockers always spawn a bunch of items you can sell for money, and you can get a lot of money. So I always just load in with a free loadout, so I don't lose anything. There's like zero risk, and I get the hospital or the thing, rarely both. And sometimes I die, whatever. If I do, I just spin back up, and then I come back to base, sell all my stuff, then I get more money. And then there's there's stores where you can buy pink items. Why am I doing that? 2 reasons. There's a community event where if you get XP, you unlock some cosmetic stuff. Don't really care about too much, but it is a number that goes up. I can do a couple runs a day. I see progress. You can do that for like the next 20 days. I will complete it, whatever. The other thing is like with the expedition, it says you're going to get a buff to your new character when you kill your old character, or not kill, when you send off your old character, you're going to get a new character, and they'll get extra skill points off the top. But it says, depending on how much value your stash has, which is a little vague. Is it just how much money I have, or like, are you counting how many pink items I have? So if I have like 10 pink grenades, I get 2 skill points. If I have 50 pink grenades, I get 5 skill points. It's not clear, and it's annoying that it's not clear. And I don't know what to do. I don't know like how prepared to be. And so there's going to be like a week-long window where you can send your character, and then you can get this buff for the next season where you get more skill points and kind of start all over. I think you keep your workshop upgrades or whatever. I mean, like you start as a new character or whatever. I assume at like level 0, where you have to level up again, but then you start with more points. So if you do skill all the way up, you will be 5 skill points stronger than you would have been, because the skill tree is not, you don't unlock the whole skill tree. You do have to make decisions. You have a limited amount of skill points. So you will have a buff to how strong you can be. That's my understanding. But for the blueprints, which are important for like being able to craft things that are more rare to take into the game, to be able to defeat other people and the enemies and stuff like that, like better guns. I think those go away. And some people are on the internet are like, fuck that, I'm not resetting for 5 skill points. I'm gonna keep my blueprints, dude. Screw that. And I kind of don't blame them, because it's RNG, and like if you get a good blueprint, yeah, it is truly rare, because like you may never find that blueprint again over the course of thousands of hours. So yeah, the game's a little weird, and I'm a little weird with the game. And again, like farming those 2 spots is like, that is not how they intended the game to go. But with the loot, they have like, turns out the loot is not completely random. Like it is random in that you, depending on like, if you're like in an apartment, you're going to get more homey, or you're going to get like more apartment. Like you're going to find a toaster. You're going to find seeds. You're going to find a cat bed. These are real items in the game, but you're going to find like domestic things. If you're in an industrial warehouse, you're going to find wires and motors and gears and magnets and shit like that. Right. But then there's these places where on the map, if you go there, you're pretty much guaranteed going to get like something valuable, either a crafting material or a gun or both. And so it's not so random, and you can farm it. And I don't think they want you to farm it necessarily. Maybe they do. But when you get into that mode, kind of like I am, it loses its allure a little, because it's not so scary. It's not so exploratory. It's not so. It's a little bit more farmy. It's not as organic. But for me, I need to be told what to do. I need something to unlock, and like the skill tree, I could. I'm not leveled all the way up, so I could like just play and try to kill. You get the most experience from killing like the arc enemies or other players. So I can just run around trying to kill other players or like kill the big enemies and beat my head against that and like level all the way up. But again, like in a few weeks, it's going to reset. So you see kind of like what the problem is with the game. And I love this game. This game was, again, in a lot of talks with my game of the year, which you can tune into again in early December. But this game, I think this game is going to fall off. If the expedition thing and the seasons thing don't hit properly, and if people kind of run out of things to do in the game, it is going to fall off hard in 2026. That's what I think. And there's a new map. I have not even gone to the map. It's like an all indoors map. Not as interesting. It seems way more PvP focused. Seems like a third or fourth of the map that they have. So it's like, yeah, a new map, but it's like a mini map. And it's like, why would I go there? Why am I going there? Like I have these 2 locations I can farm and get what I need. I could go there and just kind of enjoy the game, which I mean, there's nothing wrong with enjoying the game. That's probably how you should do it. But for me, my mission is not clear, but I feel like the game is telling me you need to have valuable items. And for me, with limited time, with playing other games, it's like, okay, I will go farm where I know I can get good loot so that I can have a good stash ready when the time comes for me to commit my player to the Nether Realm. Still a great game. I would encourage anyone to buy this game and play it. And the amount of time you'll get out of it, how cool it is. It's a fun game co-op. It's kind of a horror game solo. It's such a special game. It will probably win. It'll probably beat out Battlefield 6 for multiplayer at the Game Awards. If it doesn't, people will lose their shit on the internet, which is happening all the time anyway. If Expedition 33, and I said this in the Game of the Year, and I'm not going to tell you what I ranked Expedition 33 right now, but if Expedition 33 does not win a lot of stuff, especially Game of the Year, I think people will take to the streets. People are so passionate about that game. I think people will like throw dookie at Jeff Keighley's apartment or house, or you see what I'm saying? Like they're like people will take that shit seriously. Like Claire Obscure 33 like tapped into like, I don't know, they call it girl gamers maybe, I don't know, like I don't know if it's girl gamers, like it just tapped into something where people are just extremely passionate about that game. Like that game struck a nerve. And it is a meaningful game for like, it's artful, it's thoughtful, it's a meaningful game, but like what it means to the gaming industry. Again, we'll go into that more in the coming weeks, but yeah. But Arc Raiders, great game, you should play it. We're almost done here. I'm gonna talk about one more thing. And this, I've already done my Game of the Year, and I probably should have waited until the end of the year. But I had a couple hours free time. I was like, why don't I just do this? There's only one game coming out that has a big old question mark on it, and this game I don't think would be Game of the Year for me. But there is a game that I have pre-ordered, and Dalorrian does not pre-order games anymore, really. I didn't pre-order Arc Raiders, Battlefield 6. Midnight I did, but that's like a different thing. World of Warcraft, that's like a different thing altogether. Um, yeah, I don't pre-order, bro, but there's a game that's coming out called Octopath Traveler 0. Now, this is if you're not familiar with Octopath Traveler, these are like old school looking JRPGs. Take a sip here. But beautiful. It's 2D sprites, but like the artwork is beautiful. And the game is beautiful for a 2D game. It is a turn-based RPG game. And with Octopath 1, which I played a decent amount of, there's like 6 core characters. You can pick who you start as. In the world, they all have their own story that you can focus on. And like they have their own origin story you play. And then you go and you pick up the other characters that you could choose from. They become your party. You kind of play through a version of their origin story. And then it becomes like, like the old Final Fantasy games, kind of like Suikoden or Suikoden, however you want to say it. I think it's Suikoden. You have like, 6 to 8 characters. They have the story in Octopath Traveler 1, those stories were so well written. I mean, you're looking at 2D sprite, so well written, so basic fantasy, storylines, art, epic feeling, just such a delight to have games like that in the space of video games. And then so I didn't finish that game, but I played a lot of it. I can't remember when I fell off. I don't know why I fell off. I got busy or something, but like I would say it's a great game, surely. And maybe I will go back and finish it. I don't know, but it's been a couple of years. Then Octopath Traveler 2 came out, and I didn't play that because I was like, well, I didn't finish the first one. I don't know if I'm going to play the second one because I didn't finish the first one. I don't want to buy it and not finish it. I feel like I should finish the first one, whatever. And my understanding of that game was very similar to the first. Like, you have set characters, you pick them up, you play through their stories. Some beautiful games, charming. It truly feels like old school Final Fantasy to me. Like I played Wild Arms. I played a lot of those old games. Like, it's like old school Final Fantasy. Maybe not as silly, but just as charming. It's just like addicting. This game, Octopath Traveler 0, is like my game, dude. There's a free Steam prologue you can play right now. You can download and play it and kind of like get the intro of the game out of the way, and then that continues with progress into the game when the game comes out December 4th. So a few weeks. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to hold off because like I want to just have it. I want to have it. I want to have it all, man. And why am I jacked about this? One, you create your own character, which, I mean, look, this is sprites, right? You're not going to get to like, it's like, it's a little dude, but you like pick your own class beginning, your own job or whatever. Thief, knight, cleric. You kind of be your own thing. And you're going to have a story that you fit into. And then bad shit is going to happen to you. I'm sure that, like any great JRPG, your little town and your town gets destroyed or something. And then 2 things happen. So in Octopath 1 and 2, I think it was like 8 characters total. And it was just like a game. It's like an RPG, and you just kind of play through the story of the game. This game is going to have your own town that you build. And you know how I feel about Stardew Valley. Maybe you don't. I like it. Now, this is not, I don't think this is going to be like cows and chickens and peas and shit that I'm building. But like, it's going to be like you rebuild your own town. And you have to like, okay, I want to build this house. Okay, you got to get wood and collect these things to go build the house, along with these adventures you have to do, and there's like a story going on. But then, dude, I love that shit. I would have loved it in Assassin's Creed Shadows, but like it's just too much. Like that game's too much. Maybe I'm racist. I don't know. I'm kidding. But like maybe that game just looks like shit to me. I mean, and I played Valhalla and I built my own little town. I'm good for a while. I would like if they come out with Black Flag remake, I'll play that probably. But for Assassin's Creed, I'm good for a minute, man. I'm good for a minute. I'd play Ghost of Yotei before I would play Shadows, and I think that's fair. I think most people would say that. Anyway, you build your own town. Check. Then you don't just have 8 characters you recruit. I think there's like 30 characters you can recruit, and you can have them in your party and battle with them. And then like have them at your town to like run your town's shit. Dude. Much like the old Suikoden games, Suikoden games or whatever. Again, I don't know how to say it. I think it's Suikoden. Probably Google that. You Google it and you tell me. DalorrianTV@gmail.com. How do you say it? Suikoden? How do you say it? But it's going to be December 4th. I think it's going to be on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, PC. It's probably going to be on Game Pass. I don't care. I bought it on Steam. I haven't bought a game on Steam in a long time. And I'm going to play it, I think, on PC. And I think I'm going to stream it. And I'm just delighted. I'm delighted to pick that game up and play it. I truly am. Again, I may regret it not being like on Xbox or something like that. It feels great. It feels like it would be great for PC. And I think I'm going to enjoy it so much I'm going to stream it. I could totally put on Xbox or PlayStation and do it on a PlayStation handheld and just chill with it. And that would be totally acceptable. But it looks so good music-wise, art-wise. I would rather share it with others, the journey. It'll be unique because it'll be a character that I play, so it'll be like a unique playthrough. Unlike other games where it's kind of set. So yeah, it's I am hyped about this game, man. And I didn't even. Man, the main story is 100 hours. It's not 100 hours. Wow. Well, I don't know if it's gonna be 100 hours, dude. It just looks like, damn. There's a collector's edition. I didn't even see this. An art book, a map. Damn, a ring. The ring of the Flame Ringer, 8-sided dice. And then you get all of your festive table with roasted chickens and festive flags, and I guess the vases you can put in your little town. I don't know, man. That's on the Switch as well. Yeah, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X. I'm doing it on PC. Yeah, this could be the game of the year, and then my whole thing is I'm gonna have to delete my whole show and start over. No, I don't think it'll be game of the year, but it might be up there. And so, I talked about it a lot on the game of the year video that we recorded. Of like how much potential I think this game has. So even if it doesn't get my game of the year officially, it's still going to get hyped a lot. It just came out a little late, and maybe next year I'll wait till the new year and give these December games a chance. But with the limited time that I have, I didn't think there was going to be anything coming out in the next 6 weeks. It's really going to make waves. But I am excited about this one, so I just want to talk about it. The other thing I want to say, and then we're going to wrap up, is and just because I forgot to mention this during the Steam machine talk, that controller looks like shit. I didn't say that earlier. We talked about like the thumbsticks and stuff. Maybe the controller will be good. That's the one negative thing I'll say about the whole Steam machine thing, is that controller looks like shit. Maybe it feels great. Maybe it'll be better than expected. But wow, that looks like a horrible thing to interface with. All right. If you want to interact with me, you can come to our Discord. Dalorrian's new dungeon. There's links everywhere. Sub on YouTube. Come hang out on the Twitch if you want. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and then a lot of weekends as well. We're usually hanging out. And then in the Discord or on the Gmail at DalorrianTV@gmail.com. If you have any comments, concerns, feedback, corrections, you can let me know. And we will probably go over it here. If those come in, we will probably have a segment where we talk through some of that stuff. But yeah, it's been fun. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.